Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, hi, my name's Lizzie. I'm a senior that will be graduating in about 2 months and is heading off to college. For all the juniors out there, I've taken it upon myself to be your internet big sister and spill all the tea on senior year. From dealing with burnout, my biggest tips for applying to college, and making senior year your best year yet, I'm going to be telling you everything. So sit back, grab a snack, and get ready with me. Okay guys, so I know we have a lot to talk about. I kind of just want to start off with the basics. Just like managing senior year and some of my advice going into senior year. My first piece of advice that not a lot of people really consider is the classes that you're taking for senior year. And my biggest piece of advice is don't just take easy classes or easy A classes. The reason for this is because when you actually apply to colleges, you have to report all the classes that you're taking for your senior year. That's like the main thing that they look at. So they really want to see that you're continuing to challenge yourself in high school. Even though like it's your last year, they're kind of going off of that. Since you are taking some harder classes, you definitely might feel burnt out your senior year, along with like maintaining a social life, especially applying to colleges. That's also going to be really time consuming. You don't want to feel burnt out or overwhelmed with all the things on your to-do list. So a way that I really avoided burnout in high school was keeping like a to-do list and a planner, and genuinely I think it's been so helpful for me to be able to use like Google Calendar. I can visually see how much time I have and space everything out. This is especially helpful for me kind of in the beginning of the year when I had college apps due and homework and tests and everything going on. That way I could really prioritize every night. And I honestly think that's the biggest thing with senior year is learning how to manage your time effectively so that you have room to complete everything in your schedule. Whether you're applying to 3 colleges or 20, you really just need to make sure that you're managing your time. Fun fact, if you're accepted to a college and your grades start to decline just because you're kind of slacking and you get that senioritis, they can revoke your acceptance. So you still have to make sure that you are trying in school. I know I talked a little bit about balancing your social life and your academic life. This is honestly really tricky your senior year. But to be honest, I think that it's really, really helpful because it's kind of preparing you for college with some lower stakes, because in college you are going to have, less classes, but, more time for friends and stuff, but you still want to make sure that you have everything done without feeling left out or falling behind in school. Honestly, really prioritizing, deadlines and dates and schedules has honestly been the biggest thing for me. Just because it is your senior year and you're applying for, colleges and stuff, you don't have to give up all your free time or all the things that make you happy just to get it all done. Surround yourself with people who are just as ambitious and looking forward to college as you are, because that will help you feel more motivated. And some really common senior events that a lot of people look forward to are senior sunrise and senior sunset. That's something that my school, and I know a lot of schools do, so in September you'll all get a date where you'll come to like maybe your football field or the entrance of your school and you'll watch the sunrise together. And then at the end of the year in June, you'll all stay after school and watch the sunset together. I think it's so fun. Another really big thing that I'm grateful for was no state testing. Since we're done with high school, we don't have to take any tests. So me and my friends went out to a diner one day because we didn't have to go to school until later in the day, and we all just got to eat pancakes, and it was so fun. Obviously, prom is always something to look forward to. I also think it's super fun the summer of your senior year to make a little senior bucket list for you and your friends to complete, really to make sure that you're getting the most out of your senior year and that you're creating balance for yourself. It's not just about academics and it's not just about friends and fun. You have to have a good balance of both. Okay, moving on to the topic that I know everybody's most curious about, which is college. Speaking as a senior who is accepted and committed to college, I will be giving you guys all the inside scoops and tips on applying to college, how to choose the right college for you, because trust me, it's a really, really long process. First, I want to talk a little bit about when you should start kind of preparing for doing college applications. So Most schools go through the Common App, which is basically you submit one application and it gets sent out to all your schools. There's a couple that you might have to write specific essays for, but overall, most use the Common App and most don't require anything extra. Common App is definitely lengthy. It has like 8 sections all about your academics, your extracurriculars, your activities, your family, what you want to study. There's just honestly so much that you have to fill out. And like I said, you're still going to be getting homework in senior year. You're still going to have things to do, especially when balancing a social life as well. So my biggest tip, I know you don't want to hear me say it, start over the summer. I started my Common App in July along with my college essay, and we would just do maybe a section each day or like half a section. That way, by the time September rolled around and we could start sending out applications, it was done. That way, all we had to worry about doing was hitting the submit button. My other biggest piece of advice when applying to colleges is don't apply to colleges that you know you won't be happy at. There are thousands and thousands of colleges and universities, so really only apply to ones that you know you'd be happy getting into. And I'm not saying that every single school has to be your number one. You just have to know that if you had to go there, you would be happy. This is because if there's a circumstance situation, whether it's financial or because it's local or any other situation, you know that you would be happy at that school. And if there aren't too many schools that you've seen that you like, go to YouTube and just do like online virtual tours. You can honestly get a really good sense of college campuses. Okay, those are some of my biggest tips for applying to colleges. You also really have to figure out what kind of schools you like. So honestly, seeing a variety of schools is kind of a good thing. I did like almost 40 college visits, and obviously I did not apply to all 40, but it really gave me a good sense of what I did and didn't like in a college. For example, I found out that I really like small schools just because I like smaller class sizes and getting to know my professors, and you just really get a good sense and a good idea of what you should be looking for. Probably one of the hardest things about college application are the essays. They are so stressful. Really hard to pick the perfect topic. For my college essay, and for honestly a lot of kids, they start out with a really basic idea, maybe an experience or a hobby or something they enjoy, and they really look at it at a deeper level. Why do they enjoy it? What about that hobby or activity makes them a better person? How do they want to continue this in college? You really want to touch on the future because that's what's going to make your essay stand out when you talk about how that university will help you and what you'll contribute to it. Also, with the essay, start early because you're going to have writer's block, you're going to get stuck, and you're not going to know what to write about at some points. And that's okay. But the earlier you start, the more time you give yourself to figure it out. I think I started writing my essay literally in July, and it took me like 2 months. And remember, the first draft is not going to be the best draft. You have to keep working at it over and over again. If you're like me and you're thinking of applying to maybe a couple more schools than the average, you're going to need like some sort of checklist or some sort of way to make sure that everything is in order. You know, make sure your application's done or it's in progress, what each application needs, whether it's an extra essay or maybe you need to submit specific grades. You just want to make sure that you have all of that compiled together in maybe like a to-do list so you know what has to get done and when. Another big tip that I have for people is honestly having one master spreadsheet. My dad has one for my college journey, and basically it has facts and statistics of each college. Price, housing, honors colleges, what it offers, student to faculty ratio, cars on campus, study abroad. That way you can look at one giant document and be able to compare everything when it's time to make your decision. And again, when you're making your decision, you really have to find out what factors are a priority for you, whether it's location, size, student life, academics. No matter what you do, you want to make sure that the college you're going to is really offering the best for what you want. Something else that I want to talk about, because I feel like not enough people do, are scholarships. Whatever school you go to, somewhere on your website, there's going to be a whole list of local scholarships that you can apply to. And not enough students take advantage of local scholarships. There are hundreds of thousands of dollars that don't get used each year because kids aren't applying for scholarships. Apply. Whether it's $500 or $5,000, every dollar counts in college. If you're looking for anything, honestly, I think scholarships are the way to go because so many kids don't know about them or don't feel like doing it. If you show that you're willing to put in the extra work, that's a really great sign on scholarship committees. Some kids might do one or two and think, that's it, I'm good. But seriously, apply to any and every single scholarship that you qualify for. You've gotten into colleges, you might have decided which one you're going to, and now it's April, May, it's the end of the year, and you need to get ready for graduation. I have totally dealt with so much stress over AP testing, homework, deciding on colleges and extracurriculars, but just relax and breathe because everything's gonna work out the way it's supposed to. What really matters is having a great senior year, making memories, and figuring out the college that's right for you. A couple ways that I kind of cope with a lot of the stress going on in the end of senior year is being able to talk to my friends and family. They're such great support systems and they are going through it too, especially my friends. With a lot of happy things in senior year, you'll also get some negatives too. So many people get rejected or waitlisted from colleges, but I just want you to know it's not the end of the world. You might not get into every school, you might not get into a majority of the schools, and that's okay. Being rejected or waitlisted or deferred has absolutely no reflection of you as a person. As long as you find a school that's right for you, it doesn't matter about any no's or rejections, it's the one yes and the one college that you're excited to go to that really matters. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of stress in senior year and a lot going on, but you really want to make sure that you have time for you. Lastly, I just want to say to all the juniors or sophomores or freshmen or even fellow seniors watching this, you got this. Whether you're going to college, you're going to high school, or maybe you're just changing grades. I believe in you and you're going to do great things. For all my fellow seniors out there, I wish you the best of luck in college, university, in your job, or wherever you're headed off to. And to all the juniors, good luck senior year. And with that, that is all the secret high school advice given to you by a graduating senior. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do hope that this video has been helpful to you. And if you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments and I'll try to answer them. So I hope you guys have a great day, a great week, a great weekend whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!